Phat, P-H-A-T, pretty hot and tempting.
So, Will, how are you this evening?
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so I've already lost my voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But earlier today, you were talking to me about the Mandela effect.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't quite understand what you were saying. So can you expand on what you meant when you explained it?
Oh, mate. It's quite long, though.
Okay, go for it. We're going in deep. We're diving deep.
So, many people believe in this Mandela effect, right? Which is technically a parallel... People think in a parallel universe.
Right.
So then, like, because there's so many things that have changed with it. Like,
Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean in terms of changing things?
Like, mate, so... You remember the Monopoly Man?
Right.
What do you remember him wearing? Like, on his face?
A monocle.
You're right, yeah, no, he never wore a monocle, mate. It's fucking bullshit.
What do you mean?
If you go back...
He always has.
No, he hasn't.
What?
I know, it's fucked up, innit? Because, mate, people have asked the company as well, like, oh, did you ever take the monocle off? And they're like, nah.
Right. But...
Mate, but it was never there. So, like, people are thinking...
But I think that's just because he looks like a similar logo. Do you know what I mean?
Like, compared to who, mate?
No, it's just like... If you take a certain amount of people, they are going to, like, naturally, like, pick up different things about a logo more specifically than somebody else. Do you know what I mean? So... They may think that they saw a monocle, but they actually didn't.
No, this is where false memories come in, because there's two theories to this effect.
What do you mean?
So people were thinking, like, say if I thought that phone was blue, right?
Right.
But it's actually black.
Right.
But in my... every time you think of this moment, that memory strengthens. So every time I'm thinking of this memory, I'm thinking of it being blue when it's black, when it's actually black, so I'm thinking of a false memory. I'm strengthening a false memory. Right. So then when I come back to look at it now, I'll be like, nah, that phone is definitely blue. It's not black. It's definitely blue. And you're like, nah, it's always been black.
Yeah,
and
so
I'm like, nah, it's blue.
Oh, right.
So a bit of false memory.
Yeah.
But the reason it boot me out the most is because there's thousands and thousands of people that remember Nelson Mandela's death in like 1980. And watching it on TV.
He hasn't died though.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. That's why That's why it's called the Mandela effect, because he started researching it and he was like, "Oh, why all these people saying I died and saw me on TV?"
But do you not think that might be because, like, there's a lot of publicity about him in like when that was going on, and do you know what I mean? People like with the wrong mindsets about them probably were just associated.
No, because apparently they saw his funeral on TV, live TV.
Yeah, but they might have just mistaken that for seeing a Sky report or something.
Wow.
Like a news
How can
report.
you compare Nelson Mandela's death to it?
No, because I'm saying that there still is a lot of bigoted people, but people who had a certain agenda back then probably thought of him as dead anyway, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but why are people saying then that I watched his funeral on TV and I saw him die?
How many people are we talking about?
Like thousands.
Thousands. That's not a lot of people in the grand scheme of things. There's 7 billion people on the earth, Will.
Yeah, mate, thousands of... That's still quite like a remarkable amount of evidence.
What?
If it was one person, I'd be like,
oh, wait.
yeah,
You're talking about a few thousand people who believe that Nelson Mandela died?
Yeah, that saw it on TV.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why it's fucked.
Maybe there's just a lot of nutbags in South Africa, which there are.
Yeah, there are some crazy people in South Africa.
Yeah, they've always got that like weird,
yeah.
that weird sort of beef, isn't it?
Between who?
No, not beef, as in like fighting, like jerky. What is it called?
Beef jerky.
No, yeah, it's like a specific kind of thing. I think I don't know. It might be some like wild game meat that they toss up.
Game.
Sounds quite nice, actually.
What are you on about, mate? No, it's just called beef jerky, boy.
Yeah,
maybe. That's what.
Maybe I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's like a South African beef jerky thing.
Don't remember that.
Either way, doesn't matter.
No. Oh fuck.
What are you doing over there?
Yeah, my shoe.
Why are you kerfuffling under the table? What are you doing?
I like kerfuffling, mate. It's fucking.
No, just sit still.
I can't get my shoes on. There you go. They're on.
Are you this uncomfortable when you're with your girlfriend?
I don't have a girlfriend.
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
Oh, do you not?
No.
Who's that girl then?
I don't know. Bro. Just it's a nice girl I'm speaking to, isn't it?
Oh, okay. So, I want to question your knowledge of the whole universe. I want you to explain to me, like very roughly, how you think humans came into existence.
It's always a sticky one because
No, it's not right. Start from the beginning, okay? What do you think happened up to from the beginning to now?
Well, it's got to be.
2020.
It's got to be fucking the Charles Darwin theory, innit? Like evolution.
No, but what happened before that? Even before that?
I don't know. I guess obviously the Big Bang.
Yeah, right.
And
Good.
I just feel.
Then
I
what
I
happened?
just feel like things have developed on Earth for a long, long time. They have adapted to their situations. You know what I mean?
No, right. So what happened? The Big Bang happened. I agree.
This
but
is my story or your story? What's going on?
No, but you're skipping major parts of what happened.
I'm not going to go throughout like all 5 billion years that Earth's
No,
been on.
but I'm just saying, fast forward, Big Bang, because you went from Big Bang to all of a sudden we got people who are doing pretty well on the Earth.
No.
Right.
No.
So after the Big Bang, what happens?
So there's so much gas in the atmosphere that like it's not like possible for humans to live on.
Right.
So I feel like slowly over this time,
Right.
but cells and plants and stuff like that have adapted to that situation.
Right.
And then over time,
Over how long do you think?
thousands of years, mate.
No.
Millions of years.
Yes,
mate.
yeah, millions of years, not thousands of years.
Yeah, I know, yeah, but what do thousands add up to, mate? Millions. So.
Eventually, yeah. After 1,000 millions, yes. A billion, you reach a billion.
Right. So, and then over time, I think.
Right. So whereabouts are we?
We're at
the point.
My God, mate.
Are we at the point where things have started to grow back? And
Yeah, no. So like, there's still things living on this gaseous Earth.
Right.
But
what does it look like on Earth right now?
just like I don't know, like
Molten lava, like
Yeah.
and sort of right. Yeah.
Yeah, and like just like no water or anything, just like gas and just like
Right.
volcanoes and shit. I guess.
Nice.
And then over time, I think plants. I think over time that gas like slowly eased off almost. I don't know.
Right.
Like as land moves,
Yes.
so like all the gas stuff and all the volcanoes are gonna break down. And
Right.
stuff,
I have to stop you here. Right. So we'll get past this because you're utterly useless at explaining it. Right. So everything's settled down. It's millions of years. Things are starting to grow back. Now, what have we got on Earth right now? What are we seeing?
I thought you were explaining it because I wasn't.
Yeah. So right, okay, I'll skip forward for you. So we got little small things living in like the water and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
going onto land and
Then you
stuff
got those like
that.
massive crocodile, you got those mega sharks, mate. The size
Yeah,
of,
right.
Yeah.
So then you sort of go into the period of dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so then what happens after the dinosaurs? What happens to
they
the
get hit by
dinosaurs?
a meteorite.
Yes, very smart. So
And
then what happens after that?
Well, apparently we don't. No one actually knows this, do they? But
Right.
fucking, they all died after that.
Yes. Well, yeah, they all died because there's a huge fuck off asteroid.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
But
That's pretty much-
I know, but I'd love to go back and actually see what happened. But do you actually
What about
believe it?
dinosaurs?
Do you believe all this crap? Like, who knows?
What,
mate?
do I believe in dinosaurs?
No, like anything, mate. Like, it's just weird. I'd love to go back and see if some shit was actually real or not, mate.
Like what? What specifically?
Like, was it like?
What would be the one place you'd go back to in history?
Oh shit! Like, I could only go back to one place.
Yeah, if you're saying that you want to go back and see if shit was real, what one thing are you saying?
Fuck. Oh mate, that's a hard one, you know.
Oh, come on, think.
Like, I'd love to go and see Henry VIII, I guess. Yeah, that'd
Well,
be
and just
fucking-
chill with him the boys.
Him and his wives, you know, chilling with the bitches.
Get a little what's that medieval guitar called?
Oh,
A
yeah,
sitar.
like a sitar.
Yeah, have someone just chilling on the sitar and
Got
in the
someone feeding me grapes, mate.
yeah in the dining hall, and then
Yeah.
you're just sitting there with Henry VIII chilling.
But mate, though, I find those. Have you ever been to a castle?
Yes.
They're so fucking booky. They
Oh,
are,
no.
mate. Like you walk through it, mate, and you feel like there's like so many people that are looking at you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know this one time at school we had this like medieval banquet kind of thing. It was just a shitty little. They held up a few drapes up in the assembly hall and just put up a dining room table.
Sounds cool, bro.
Yeah, but everyone had to dress up as like sort of someone from the medieval times
Oh god.
and whatever. And they gave out the food that they were giving out because obviously it was a banquet. It was like meat legs and stuff like that. And for me, that's where you lost me. I could not go back to the 18th, well, however when it was, the 1600s.
I've got it.
Because of the meat. It just looks so unappetising.
I know where I want to go back to.
What's that?
When England won the World Cup.
What, 1966?
Yeah, that'd be fucking quality, mate.
Yeah, that would be good. But then again, you'd also be a little sperm speck.
Not even that, man. Our parents wouldn't even been. Oh wait, when were they born? I don't know.
Not 69.
Wait.
Oh, the best people were born in 69.
The summer of 69.
Yeah.
He clearly discovered that position for everyone, didn't he?
What?
The people that live in the summer of 69.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it even called 69? I'm so good. I don't get
Well,
why.
because it's two bodies twisted round. And the 6 and the 9 are two twisted numbers.
Oh, I get you. But like, at the same time...
Do you not know that?
No, no, but
Are you that dumb?
But at the same time, like, it's just like two planks on top of each other, really. Like, when the humans do it, innit? You're not twisted round. You're just like...
No, but it's not because they're numbers. It's because you're opposite ends. You're twisted round. It's not because it's not because you're trying to look like a 6. Your girlfriend's trying to curl around. Oh yeah, I'm a 6, babe. Oh, that's great. I'm a number 9.
Yeah, I knew that, mate. But I'm just saying, bro. Like, just call it top to tail.
Top to tail.
Yeah. You know, like you and your boys used to do top to tail.
No.
when you mate.
No, I don't remember that.
Alright.
What kind of sleeping bags were you sharing?
I'm not sleeping bags, mate. Just get the fucking. Just have the duvet, mate.
Nice.
Fuck.
Nice.
Did you even go to any sleepovers when you were younger? Like,
Yes, I had plenty of friends. Thank you. No, I did. But I never used to top and tail.
mate, I remember when you used to have mates when I used to come in like a little rat, mate.
Oh, yeah, you're the most annoying little shit.
Show me a fucking beast now.
No. Still just as young and free.
Living young, wild and free, baby. You're getting a bit big there, mate.
Nah. Got a bit of a sack ache actually.
Dickhead. Losers. You're only bad at computers.
What are you doing?
Having a rap battle, bro.
No, I don't want to rap battle.
You don't want the smoke.
Oh, go on then. Fuck it. Let's do it.
You go first.
Give me a beat.
Right,
No, not on your phone.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you're going to do a beat.
No.
Go do a beat. Come on. Go on. Sorry. What is that? Go on.
Just lay
do
with it.
again.
Just stay
Do
with it. Chill with it. Vibe with it.
Okay, go on then. How about if I start a beat for you first?
Nah.
Right, okay. Go on then. Give me a beat. What on earth is that? Right, third chart. Is that literally all you've got? Was that Michael Jackson? I'm over here trying to spit a few bars, and you're producing me fucking. What is it? Was it? It's not a thriller, is it? It's fucking.
That's his name of one of his songs, yeah.
No, I know, but it's not that specific. Right. All right. Okay, I'll give you a beat first, and then right. I'm beatboxing so long.
Yeah. Free all my brothers.
Oh God, what are you like? Jesus Christ.
I find that pretty funny though.
What?
People are saying like free up my brothers when like, even though they just stabbed Jill down the road. Yeah, right, mate. Free him for stabbing old Jill. Fucking hell.
Oh fuck, no, that is shit. No. Do you reckon you could do prison? Would you survive prison?
Well, someone said this to me actually over there on an Xbox party. What would you rather do? In the next 3 years in quarantine or 1 year in jail?
Oh, quarantine all day.
Really?
Are you kidding me? I am not going anywhere near those showers. Do you know what happens to someone like me?
Yeah, but UK prisons look actually like quite fun.
To be fair,
No, not fun, but like, have you ever?
Sorry,
do you know?
fun.
Do you
I
know?
wouldn't- I
Do you
wouldn't
know
call
who
it
Little
that.
Man and Graham is?
yeah.
Yeah, mate. They got a fucking trash bag, yeah,
Right.
filled it with water, and they made him jump into it. Well, they didn't make him; he did it, but it was a fucking funny video. And they just like they were mates in there, just having a good time, like a massive sleepover, mate.
Does that not get you like extra time for like just fucking about with water? I don't know.
Mate.
Jesus.
Fucking about water. Why would you get extra time for that?
I don't know. Depleting the water bill.
Sorry, mate. The fucking water meter's out.
Yeah, the water bill. Yeah. Why could you not do 3 years then?
Fuck no, mate.
Why?
I hate it, mate.
Well, at least you
It
still
feels
go
like I'm
outside.
living. It feels like I'm living the same day over and over again.
Yeah, it does. But
Wake up at
yeah,
wake
but
up at 1.
Yeah, but it's gonna feel the
Come
same.
down for
It's
lunch.
gonna feel the same at prison.
No, because you have all your boys there with you, all your gang members, innit?
Your boys. You know how many boys are in prison?
Yeah, because all my boys would do the same choice, and then we'll all be in prison just chilling.
Oh right, you're saying in a
Mate, have you
hypothetical
seen
world.
some of them got PlayStations and shit as well? Have you? I saw a TikTok the other day. A guy just walked into one of his mates' jail cells. One's got a Nintendo Switch. One's playing on the fucking Wii Sports, and one's playing on the PlayStation.
It
Mate,
is actually ridiculous, isn't it?
mate like, oh,
I thought prison was like bad. Obviously it is, but like you get like a toaster, butter,
yeah, mate.
bread, TV.
You probably get treated in prison than some people do at home, mate. Like,
No, to be honest, you actually probably do.
mate, think about it as well. You don't have to do any of the washing up either.
You know what just makes me laugh though is the fact that someone has probably had to drone in a Nintendo Switch up to the window. His mate's just droning him up to the window.
You're
He's
big
going-
man. You better not forget Mario Kart, yeah?
Yeah, he's just got like a shopping list. He's got 4 grams of ganja, 2 grams of cocaine, a Nintendo Switch, and a pack of sausages.
Mate, it's legit probably a boys' night every night in there, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Fucking get the Coronas in,
Until lights
ganja.
out. Until lights out.
Nah, I bet the police
And
probably
then
get
turns
involved, mate. They love it, probably.
What, the police?
Yeah, mate, the guards are probably playing them on COD or something. Like,
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me.
if you were about to die, right?
Right.
What would be your last song that you could listen to?
The last song I could listen to? I thought about this a lot before. Sounds kind of deep, but probably something by Queen.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Either that or I don't.
We are the champions.
Yeah, I don't
You
know,
listen
something
to
like that.
that.
No, because you need something like deep and like not deep but like uplifting at the same time. Maybe something like David Bowie or something like that. I don't know. Actually, I know what I'm listening to.
What?
Fucking. What the fuck is that sound?
Is that the wind?
I think it might be.
Fucking, that scared the shit out of me.
I thought that was a Chinook coming over to get me, bro.
You don't really remember that much as a kid, really, do you?
Yeah, like I literally remember nothing from when I was a kid, apart from a few. Like my first, like earliest memory was where we are right now, because it used to be like an old conservatory. But it was my birthday party, and we had like a bouncy castle. But for some reason, I kept on loving turning off the power to the bouncy castle and just going into the deflated bouncy castle, and just finding that hilarious. I don't know why.
How old were you?
Maybe like 5, 6.
Oh, right.
That's like my earliest memory. I'm so dumb. I can't think before that.
Mate, I don't think it's not a bad thing that you can't think past.
No, but it's I can't remember much from my childhood until someone reminds me of something that's happened, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I suppose, but at the same time, it's just a bit like.
To be fair, one thing I do remember was in year 4, my teacher, she was like wanted to be an art teacher, but she's a normal teacher at the moment, and she went to like galleries and stuff like this, and she put like this picture I put because we were doing like anti-animal sort of rights or something. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I drew a picture of like kangaroo of like protect the kangaroos and stuff like that, and it was fucking sick. I worked so hard on it. I remember it's the first thing I've ever worked hard on, I think. I remember it specifically, and she looked at it and she's like, wow, that's sick. That's actually quite sick. And she took it to an art gallery and put it up and shit like that. And I didn't know about this, but then she told me, and I was like, oh, that's sick. And I was
how old were you?
I was no, but it was like a sort of like showcase thing. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? This is the first time I've actually been alright or something.
Yeah,
and then after that, I don't remember anything. I'm just saying what I remember on my earliest memories. Like, there's another one. What am I trying to think?
I remember
I have so many memories. I shouldn't thinking back to it. I do remember a lot, but you can't remember as much just off the cuff of the head, if you know what I mean. Do you ever remember fights from school? Were there ever like major fights in school?
Yeah, definitely.
Because there was one fight I always remember so specifically. We're in year 10, so we're like quite old, and me and my mates were playing football up against, because we had like this cage that everyone played football in. It was like divided into like 3 quarters, like netball pitches, and we always used to play up against it. And one day we were playing like heads and V's up against the cage, and all of a sudden we saw some beef because someone said something online, but it was like a year 11, so he was in the year above the guy who was in my year who was going to get attacked, and they literally he didn't even square up, and he literally, but they're both looking at each other, but the guy who punched him literally knocked him out in one blow, and the kid's head hit the concrete, and I remember so specifically like boom, like the smash on the concrete. Like, it's crazy when you see like injuries, like how it
that's
like how it just sort of triggers something in your head. Because I remember there's another time in Newcastle, I was there for New Year's Eve, and me and my mates, we were walking up the high street or whatever, and all of a sudden a bouncer knocked this fat like bald guy over, and he tumbled over, and it was on cobbled roads, and he literally went 90 degrees from his from all the way up his full height onto the cobbled road stones, and you could see his head was fucking cracked. It was so disgusting.
Mate, it's grim, mate. Mate, people are so violent sometimes for no reason. Do you know what I mean?
Unnecessary violence, but at the same time, there's a lot of dickheads who do need to get. Do you know what I mean?
I get that.
Like being a bouncer, I can imagine, but bouncers are usually quite dickheadish at the same time.
Are so, mate, fucking.
Oh, I should get a walkie-talkie in. I mean, do you reckon if you get a walkie-talkie, you just automatically gain a lot more power? Or do you reckon it just naturally over a long time, you just sort of become more of a dickhead? Do you reckon?
Over time.
Yeah, it's probably an overtime job, isn't it?
Have you ever seen the film fucking... What's that space film with Tom Cruise, I think?
Tom Cruise. Which one are you on about? What you mean?
He wakes up from his like sleep, and he's like in the future on Earth, a different, but like they moved homes, all the Earth people.
Oh, you mean fucking Interstellar? Yeah, that's not Tom Cruise. That's Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, same person. Mate.
No, it's not. It's a completely different person.
Anyway, when he goes down to that planet,
right,
and he comes back up, and it's 25 years later.
Yeah.
Mate.
That is a fucking mental.
Can you imagine sitting in space? They've been 25 years. Oh, it's only been 15 minutes.
But I think the thing was, wasn't it? Because on Earth, it's like a normal year is 365 days. But obviously, in space, that planet, I guess, it's in another solar system, I guess, isn't it? And it sort of like moves
How does
at
that
a
stop?
faster rate, and then you obviously age quicker
Yeah, but how does that stop your aging in a person?
because people
You
because you
still
can
age. You're still alive for the same amount of
no,
time.
you're not because you're consuming time differently.
So you're saying time's slower where they were?
No, where the place they went to, time was faster. But on Earth, obviously, it's like our normal time.
No, because the people up on the spaceship out in space had said it
Yeah,
had been 25
and
years. But
he lives like I guess like an Earth year, like 365. He conceives like time as that, I assume. And
Yeah, but
I know, but
that
look, if
doesn't
you
answer my question about whether
think, right?
Alright.
If time is quicker on a planet, right?
Yeah.
And you're there and you're on there for longer, you're going to experience more time, aren't you? Than if you sit on Earth and you twist at that speed and you do more and I don't know. You're gonna, aren't you? Do you see what I mean? You're gonna conceive time at two different completely rates.
But nah.
But is that the only thing that sort of blows my mind?
I just find it also mind baffling how there's the universe just goes on forever.
Yeah.
Like, mate, it keeps going. Like, it's continuing to grow.
Well, you can't, like, mate, we can't even begin to fathom the size of this thing. If you think about it, right, we are literally nothing. No, we are. You know how we look at like that film Ant-Man.
Yeah.
You know how he goes into like the quantum realm. Like we are the quantum realm. Like we could be like the quantum realm for something else. If you know what I mean. The same way we look at cells.
Oh, I get you.
So
You're saying
the
like,
same way we look at cells and we think, oh, that's just a thing. But that's a whole completely different universe to us.
That could be. We could be that little speck to someone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get that.
So if you think you just zoom out, and oh shit, it's just a constant cycle of.
That's
like
crazy.
you zoom out, it's just another human. You zoom out, it's just another human. You just zoom out, it's just another human. You zoom out.
That's fucking booky. I was
Know what I
thinking
mean?
that as well. Like we could, like, you know, on GTA we've got like people that we play with. Like we could just be someone's person. Do you know what I mean? It's
Like in the Matrix.
Yeah.
That's why it's mental when you talk about the Mandela effect.
Exactly. Because mate, they could be putting updates
I
in the
do
game.
book out like that sometimes.
They're putting, mate. Think about it like this way: you get the Mandela effect, right?
Right.
These little changes could be happening because there's the people putting updates in our game or something, and that's why we're transferring to a parallel universe.
Mate, you're actually spinning my head right
Mate,
now.
it's fucking booky, but it's the truth, isn't it?
New updates. So anytime someone comes up with a new invention or whatever, that's a new DLC update. So if a human thinks up of a new invention of something to improve the human race, that's a new DLC.
Yeah, DLC update. Yeah, a bit like Chemo Deterrent.
Kino Deterrent, yeah. Big up the COD gamers.
Yeah. Big up the boys.
I miss COD 5 so much. That was literally the COD that I grew up on.
Nah, Modern Warfare.
I literally spent my whole entire secondary school years playing Call of Duty.
Nah, Modern Warfare 2, mate. Quick scoping the thing.
And it's mental to think now, in the future, how many days of people's lives are going to be spent looking at a screen, like all counted up. It's going to be more than you've actually probably lived.
You do know it's going to keep on increasing.
Yeah, it's going to keep on increasing.
Mate,
this is why it's fucking
you're getting
sketchy.
pretty much TVs like in your car now as well. Like.
Well, what do, right? We wake up, we look at our phone, then we go to a job that we look at a screen at, and then we come home, eat dinner, and then we look at a screen.
Yeah.
It's like, if you add up, compared to people back in the day, we are completely immersed. We're not even in the real. Do you know what I mean? We're not even.
Do you know what's made me mad though? I'd actually love to like live maybe a year or two back in like 1980 because like, mate, they didn't have fuck all. They didn't really have TV, so like everyone was so much more social. Like going down the pub, seeing your mates. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
but
much more
life
social,
was
mate.
also so much shit about then as well.
Yeah, but mate, like all that matters is that you think
right now,
your mates and your family.
You
innit?
think
Like,
right
that's
now,
what
you say that, but you think right now, if they had to do quarantine in 1980, how shit would that be? Just sitting inside the house,
Yeah,
having
I
nothing
get that.
to fucking do.
Yeah, I
Whereas
get that,
the
but-
best, we're in the best time possible to be quarantining. We literally have every streaming service you want. We can game to our heart's content. We can download games. We can fucking do anything. And plus, we've got all the stuff that we can do in real life as well.
Yeah,
apart
but
from
why
the
am I
screens.
still coming downstairs and being like, mate, I'm so fucking bored?
Are you? See, I'm not actually bored. Because, like, apart from working and watching TV, by the time I've finished doing that, it's time to sleep and wank. Do you know what I mean?
Time to sleep and wait.
Do you reckon you could... Oh, I can do 1980. Fuck that.
You couldn't.
No. Well, I like.
I'd love to have like.
I like the thought of it, if you know what I mean. Like go and see like bands from the 80s and stuff like that, and going to certain like periods in time. But other than that, life was pretty shit.
Yeah, but if you think about it, I'd love to gone to a 2000 New Year's party. The millennium, that would have been
Yeah, that would have been sick. But then again, New Year's Eve never lives up to what you think.
I know, it's shit.
It is the shittest
mate.
night because it's always overplanned. This is my one rule of everything. If you plan something or if you overplan something, it's going to turn out shit.
Innit?
The best ones are always when stuff is left to unravel. And there's like mysteries to be seen.
Like the ones where you're going down the pub with the boys and we end up in Brighton somehow. And then,
and you wake up at like 6 o'clock in a Citroen garage.
Yeah.
Like,
So where am I?
Yeah, where are you? Yeah.
Fucking love them ones, mate. Because honest, like New Year's Eve is just so planned, mate. You want it to be the best night, so you plan it for the best night, and it ends up being the shittest night.
Yeah, but I seem to enjoy it now because I just sort of I just go, oh, whatever. I honestly don't care. And most of the time, it's just an overpriced evening.
House parties are so much better.
Because clubbing is shit anyway. Yeah, house parties are the one.
Yeah, house parties are sick, mate. I love house parties.
Yeah.
Fucking class.
Yeah, they are good.
So much better than going out, mate.
Well, yeah, because you don't have the because you're only with people that you're friends with.
Yeah.
So you don't have all these sort of random people that you have to sort of, even though if you don't believe in it, fucking try and impress. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And then you got to deal with. Oh, do I try and get my penis sucked this evening, or do I just sort of?
I don't really tend to go out with that thought process.
No, neither do I. But there are certain males who do that.
Well, it sounds like it's gone through your head a couple of
No,
times.
it's never gone through my head. I'm just saying from a male perspective, what I've seen some males do. It's quite nasty.
Those people annoy me that just go out with the boys just to try and get a shag. Like they want.
Oh no, it's they ruin the evening.
Yeah.
Like if you're going out to shag, it's like get in the bin because, for one, we come out to have a good time, not to fucking sort of.
Innit?
You go out with the people you go out with, and then if something happens, hey, embrace it. Embrace it.
The boys aren't gonna say anything if you act like you like.
You're still at cool around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're the main reason you're going out is to get a shag. That's
and
just
if you like,
fucking shit.
one thing you should never do is if you're with your group of lads and then you meet a girl in a club and then she goes, "Oh, me and my mate, we're going to this other club."
Yeah.
And then like he's like, "Oh lads, yeah, I'm gonna go with her."
Oh.
and then he ends up like outside the kebab shop with her at 5 o'clock in the morning, and she goes, "Oh yeah, so me and my friend we're just gonna head home," and then he's left to come back. Oh yeah, so basically it didn't really work out, did it? Yeah, because yeah, she's a bitch really. But in reality, he couldn't get a fuck. Do you know what I mean? There's so many stories of that. It's like,
and then they would class that as a shit night. Like,
yeah,
mate, and when the rest of your mates had like a sick night, just chilling, like, you know.
I'll tell you what is better. Is that the morning after talking about the night out is actually better than the fucking evening itself.
Especially if like you all stay around to like someone's house at night and you get the one mate who just doesn't get hungover cooking up the all full English breakfast, and then you just see your mate get up like, oh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, one of the funniest things. Well, it's probably the reason why it's probably the funniest morning after stories is because it's true. It's probably like the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. But basically, me and a few of my mates, we went up to Bristol to go see a mate at university. I drove up there. It took us 6 hours to get up there. Should usually take about 3.5 from where we live. So I drive. We get up there. We start pre-drinking. but I maybe pre-drink a little too hard. I have about 8 beers in the space of an hour. And then someone yells, "Oh, a taxi's coming," and I sort of go, "Okay." And then I get in the back of the taxi, and somehow, in some way, I was going through time and space between the house to the club. I do not remember anything. The next thing I remember is us standing in queue and me barely able to stand up, and sort of the bouncer hearing me. The only thing I hear is saying the bouncer saying, "Yeah, not tonight, mate." And then all my friends get in, so I was like, "Nah, go in. I'll be fine. I'll be fine." And so I go and sit on the curb to evaluate my next move, because for one, I don't know the address of my mate's house in Bristol. And the only reference point I have is that he lived next to a Sainsbury's local. So I'm assessing. And during my assessment period, sitting on the curb, I somehow passed out. It might have been something to do with the alcohol. We'll never know. Anyway, I wake up about an hour later to the thudding of like the sort of warehouse where it was, but it had like security guards or whatever. And I wake up, and my phone's missing. Someone has, or I've misplaced my phone somewhere down a drain or somewhere. Someone's nicked it, I reckon. And 100 quid has been stolen out of my wallet as well, which is even worse. So I walk up the high street of Bristol, and I see like a sort of a fountain that's like in the middle of like this sort of cross church, or whatever. What do you call them? Church areas, or whatever. And I just sort of sat there, pondered my next move, and just figured out how royally fucked I was. So anyway, I carry on going up the road, and there's this huge Jamaican guy with dreadlocks locking up his restaurant. And I go, because my only reference point to my mate's house is a Sainsbury's local. So I go up to him and I say, "You all right, mate? Do you know where the nearest Sainsbury's local is?" And he goes, "Which one? There's a lot here, mate." And then I went, "I have no idea, mate. It's like around here somewhere," because I remember the taxi driver was quite short, but it wasn't, because I passed out in the taxi, so I would have had no idea. So anyway, I get back into the so the guy, the Jamaican guy, he offers to take me in his huge Bentley, to drive me around to the nearest Sainsbury's local. Yeah, I got in his car.
You didn't channel it, though.
No, I didn't channel it. But he drove me around.
Were you still hammered at this point?
Yeah, I was still fucked, mate. And I get in the car with him in his Bentley, and we drive down, and and he sort of says, "Oh yeah, right, so here's the Sainsbury's local," and I was like, "Yeah, this ain't the one, mate." And he sort of goes, "Oh yeah, no worries, my brother, no worries." And he goes back up, and he goes to a different Sainsbury's local, and I'm like, "Yeah, this ain't the one, mate." So I went, "Oh, anyway, cheers, mate, cheers for trying." And I got out of the car in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. I was lost even more now. And at the same time, my mate who was in the warehouse club thing, he was like, "Where's Charlie?" And they sort of like, "Oh shit, he's missing, isn't he?" So they tried to call me, obviously to no avail, because my phone's missing. And sort of they're starting to get worried now. So my mate, he leaves the club, and he's sort of with his girlfriend, because they're worried about me because I don't know where I am. And even though I'm a fucking adult, I can deal with myself, but I appreciate the love. And yeah, anyway, so I get out this guy's car, and I pull over a taxi, and I'm like, yeah, bro, do you have any chance you could take me to Sainsbury's local? And he's like, which one? And I'm like, I don't know. So I go around to every Sainsbury's local in Bristol. Turns out there's the most Sainsbury's locals in the UK per capita in Bristol than there is anywhere in the UK. And so I go around in this taxi with him for about 3 or 4 hours till it was about 6, 7 in the morning. And eventually, the very last one that we have to go to check and see if it was he was like, "Oh yeah, it's the one next to the prison." I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake," because my mate told me it was next to the prison earlier. Anyway, I get there, and he's like, because obviously I have no money. So I was like, oh, fucking hell, I'll try and get out, I give him like 50 quid or whatever. Even though I was in the car with him for about 3 hours, I gave him 50 quid and he's like, yeah, no worries, mate. So it was pretty sound. But at this point, in between the 3 hours of me driving around with this taxi driver, my mate called the police and said that I was a missing person. So the police were sort of like looking around, and once I got back to the house, it must have been about 9 o'clock. I was passed out because I just got back about a couple of hours, whilst everybody else was still looking for me. So they got back in at like 9, and they came around with the police, and they were like, "Oh yeah, where is he?" He's like, "Oh, he's just asleep." And yeah. Anyway, so that's the story. But so I was fucking hungover as fuck. But the next morning, everyone just thought I was a fucking prat, which I am. But a week later, I get a phone call on the home phone from the police, and they're like, "Hello, yeah, is this Charlie?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Oh yeah, good. Basically, we're just checking to see if you're not lost, because you're a registered missing person. We just need to sign that off." And I was like, "Oh." I didn't even realise the police were after me, but fucking hell. Yeah, it's a bit of a mad one.